Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto. Today, we're going to be talking about what foods we're actually eating and some of the adjustments that we've made around our diets to try to get us into ketosis a little more and just kind of talk about that process and how it's been going for each of us. Do you want to start us off, Karen?
I do. And hi, everybody. It's good to see you. This is the channel Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto, and we are transitioning to a ketogenic lifestyle. And I particularly am interested in going carnivore. And I went carnivore like 3 days. I had my Cracker Barrel breakfast, which is 4 sausage patties and 4 eggs. And you guys already heard a little about the bowel issue I had with that. And so then I started to eat a skillet at a restaurant nearby and I had 3 eggs and chorizo sausage, and it's got a little onion and a little green pepper and a little tomato. And usually a skillet, of course, is served on top of potatoes, but I have them take out the potatoes. So, and I don't get any bread or pancakes or sides with that, and I do drink iced tea every morning with that. And today is day 9 of that. And I realized in all of that time that I have had like 2 Diet Cokes. I've had no chocolate malts, and I've had no snacking on chips and dip, which was usually potato chips and French onion dip or corn chips and guacamole, because guacamole or avocados at least are pretty good on a keto diet. It's a nice mainstay. And I don't think French onion dip is too bad. But the chips that go along with it, obviously not keto. So we'll see how it goes. I think I'll step on the scale tomorrow because that's going to be day 10. And let's tell us, Cammy, what you've been eating.
Good. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how that has been going for you. And hopefully you've been feeling a little more energy too. I don't, I'm
I
I'm
have.
a little curious about that because when I started really moving the carbs out of my system, I got a little bit of that keto flu and was tired and achy. And even now that I'm kind of in and out of ketosis based on my urine that I'm just dipping in the morning or during the day, my muscles have been hurting a little more too. And I talked to Jeff Cotterman about it, and he was talking about how that lactic acid can build up a little bit as you're getting a little more ketogenic, and then you'll adjust to that. So have you been feeling good?
I've been feeling really good, and I think I was feeling a little sore and tired one day, but that was the day I was shoveling. So I kind of attribute it to
I know
shoveling the
that is.
driveway.
She's shoveling snow while I live in San Diego.
So I think that, it could have been a little of the keto flu, but I have been doing some electrolytes, and I think that might probably, and I've been doing some exogenous ketones too, so I think that might actually keep that maybe a little at bay.
Okay, great. Yeah, I've been doing some exogenous ketones too, just trying to kind of work that into my system to try to get myself into ketosis. And we'll probably do a video on that, talking about exogenous ketones. I think that
Yeah.
would be a great topic for us in the future. So I just wanted to say that I've been eating mostly fat. I'm trying to eat 70% fat in my diet and then very little carb. I'm trying to stay under 20 grams and some protein. And I've been building a lot of muscle when I go to weigh in with Jeff Cotterman, and we look at my fat and my muscle. And so I've been slowly losing fat and gaining muscle. And he says, well, if you want to not gain so much muscle, you need to eat less protein. And I don't want to do that because I really like protein. But I've been thinking about that and paying attention to that. So, like for instance, I've been cooking more at home because I enjoy making the food at home. I know exactly what goes in it. And I'm day like 33 now or something with no sugar. And although, I've been catching it here and there, but a lifestyle I'm working toward of no sugar. And that way I know exactly what goes into my food. So some of the foods I've been making are meatloaf, today I just made a chicken salad with celery and onion and dark meat chicken and mayonnaise and, celery seed and salt and pepper. That's been very good. And low carb lasagna. I've made some low carb lasagna and I'm starting to pay attention to my dairy and realizing that I think my dairy, it's one of those borderline foods that Mike Collins talks about in the sugar addiction piece of it. And, the borderline foods are fruit, dairy, grains, and nut butters. And so I'm just paying attention to that. I love all those foods and I'm not eating fruit. I used to eat blueberries every day and count my little 10 blueberries when I started with Jeff because that's what I got. And I would buy like the big ones, right? So I could count 10 and it was like more blueberry. But I'm seldom eating those now. And so the fruit is completely gone, but I am eating nuts. I really enjoy my macadamia nuts. And so I'm just paying attention to some of those things and seeing like how it's working in the system and, eventually maybe getting some of those out.
Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about having patients now, or do you want to save that for another video?
Yeah, I think we could talk about it now.
Okay.
The other thing I just wanted to mention too, as far as eating, is that I'm not really binging. I'm not, going. I went the other day to my girlfriend's house and there was a lecture there and I had a half of a cookie. Having an accountability partner with Jeff where I take pictures of all the food that I eat and send it to him kind of helps prevent me from not eating off plan. I mean, from eating off plan because I have to send him pictures of things and send it. And then that leads me to think, well, what excuse am I going to say that I ate this, and the cravings also are getting significantly better. I'm not craving sugar so much anymore now that I've been off of it for a while. So that's been really great too. So like
Yeah.
I wanted to just talk a little bit about patience because this whole process, I started eating low carb and really paying attention in
Of
and
2023.
May of 2023. So we're going on over 6 months now. And it just is a slow process. For me, it takes time. I can tell like right now, Jeff is interested in having me start to fast and I'm just not ready to do that yet. I'm not ready. I've had some OMADs where I've eaten one meal a day and here and there. And this morning I woke up and I wasn't really hungry. And so I didn't really eat until 11, almost 11:30 this morning after I went to the gym. So I'm trying to head that way, but I'm just not ready to go there yet. It's too difficult for me. But I was reading the other day about something where it says, anytime you have a challenge and anytime you want to grow, you have to undergo some of that suffering. We had talked about that word, suffering, and I don't want to suffer. I don't like to suffer. So, that's something that I'm thinking about, it's not going to kill me to go 4 more hours without eating something.
It's funny how it transitions. When you do it slowly, like we are. We've been talking about this at least. You've been eating low carb for since May, and we've talked about doing our channel in August, and started doing the channel in August. And I was part of Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto, but I really did not give up those chips until 10 days ago. I ate less of them, but I was still eating them at least twice a week. And but now there's no interest for me in eating them. Now truly Karen has gone keto, at least with respect to chips and diet soda and chocolate malts. And I don't feel tempted with anything else. And, learning to ask for a skillet with no potatoes. That's, no pun intended, a skill because you have to practice and say, no, I don't want any potatoes. No, I don't want any bread or pancakes. Because if you don't say no, they're going to bring you pancakes or toast and jelly and stuff like that. And you do have to have some tools. So, I was at first I ate the skillet with just pulling the food off of leaving a plate full of potatoes behind my skillet, and then I thought, oh, I'll just tell them no potatoes, and it works. So patience and just playing with it, knowing that in the long run, if you have a long run, right? If we have time, then if you're doing it a little bit at a time, it's easier and probably will be something that is actually a lifestyle change and not just a diet.
Exactly. And the other thing that we had mentioned on the other video that we did was about choice and how you do have a choice. And so I'm kind of playing with it in kind of a loose way, I feel like, because situations will come up where I'll have a choice whether or not I'm going to eat something off plan or not. And then I get to decide. And sometimes, like that half a cookie over at my friend's house, I did eat it. And then I was really nervous about whether or not it was going to cause continuous cravings, which it did not. But you have a choice there. And then when you make a choice not to eat it, that's going toward your bigger goal and really making you feel better physically, mentally, because you're not getting, those carbs into your system. And then also emotionally, because you're sticking to your goal. So, it's getting to the point, where the benefit isn't outweighing the risk of eating the food. I'd rather just go without it.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, like us, and we'll see you in the next video.
All right. Have fun, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.